It is time again for this Conversation Matters podcast, and I'm Dr. Susan Protasio, your host. Several weeks ago, I met a religious sister while I was doing an episode of my podcast, and she is here in the U.S. for a short visit, but originally from India and currently assigned to the province of Ireland. And she belongs to the religious congregation of the Missionary Sisters, Servants of the Holy Spirit. So it made me wonder what made her decide to become a missionary sister. So let's peek into her life journey and find out why and what, among other things. So let's welcome our guest, Sister Gini George. Sister, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you so much for this opportunity, for saying yes and be my guest today. So I'm sure our audience is curious who my guest is. So could you please introduce yourself to our audience?
So my name is Sister Gini, and I belong to the
Okay.
mission congregation of the Servants of the Holy Spirit. We are also known as the Holy Spirit Sisters, or in short, SSPS. And I'm from India. I made my final commitment in 2011 before coming to Ireland. So for those who don't know,
Yeah.
final commitment is a point when a religious decides to live with that particular community or the congregation forever.
Okay. Thank you
So,
for sharing
and now
that.
I work in Dublin.
Okay, thank you for sharing that. Can you share more about what your religious congregation is about?
Yeah, so the Missionary Sister Servants of the Holy Spirit is international congregation. It was founded by Saint Arnold Jansen along with Mother Maria and Mother Josepha in the Netherlands in a place called Stijl.
Okay.
We are actually a German congregation, but it was founded at the border of Germany and the Netherlands. And we are also part of the Arnoldus family.
Okay.
So the Divine Word Missionaries, if you know them, they are
Yes.
called the SPDs.
Yeah, the SPD.
And we also have a contemplative branch of the sisters. So that's the Holy Spirit Sisters of Perpetual Adoration.
Oh, thank you. Thank
So
you
and
for
we are around 3,000 sisters working in more than 47 countries.
Wow.
And we are around 50 nationalities as well.
That's nice. Thank you for sharing. So early on, how did you know that you wanted to become like a missionary sister, and what kind of inspired you to pursue this religious vocation?
From the very childhood, when I can remember, from the time I can remember, I wanted to be a sister. I
Oh.
didn't have this idea of a missionary, but sister. I used to meet sisters in the hospital. I had some relatives and neighbors who used to come and share the stories. And I used to meet, like I said, I used to meet the sisters, especially in the hospital,
Yeah.
who were very kind, always with a smile. And also these long habits of the sisters used to give some interest. And also my father worked as a sacristan in the church.
Okay.
So I felt very close to the church. His name is George, and the parish name is also Saint George. So I always thought that it's my church. And we were very close to the church. And my mother, my grandmother used to tell me stories about saints. And so there are so many aspects that
kind of inspired you and added to that feeling of you wanted to become like a sister, right?
Yeah.
So how did your parents react when you told them you wanted to become a sister?
They weren't very happy because, not because they didn't want me to be a sister. I finished school at the age of 15. So that's at that time in my state, we used to finish school at 15, and then we go to a pre-university, pre-degree course in the university. So they thought 15 was too young to decide for life. So they didn't want me to decide to join a convent at that time. So my father said I could do it, but later when I finish my studies.
Yes.
But then I was afraid that if I went for my studies, I may lose my vocation. So I joined the
You
sisters.
joined.
And at that time, our congregation had a community in my own parish.
Oh, okay.
So then that's how I joined the
That's how you ended up
congregation.
joining the congregation that you
Yeah.
have right now.
Yeah.
So, how is it like to be a missionary sister, and what are your responsibilities?
I feel very blessed to be called to this life. I was 15 when I joined, and then only for the first 3 months I was in my community in the state. Then we were moving around for the formation, and most of my life I have spent in the central part of India or north of India, which is very different from my home place. Food, culture, clothes, climate, everything is so different. And I so for my first appointment, I had in a very, very interior village in
India.
in Rajasthan. That's a state in the north.
Okay.
So we were like pioneers. We were just starting a new community. The life was so different
From what you have.
from So where people were very, very poor, and but those 2 years were my best years of my life. So so there it was socio-pastoral ministry. Now I am with communications, media and communications.
Okay.
So I try to, our charism is to bring good news to the people in whichever way possible. So I try to do that through my media ministry.
So your media ministry is working through
Yeah,
that
I make
charism.
videos.
Yes.
I through photographs, social media.
Oh, that's nice.
And I work as the regional communication coordinator for the region. And I'm also part of the video production team for the whole congregation.
Oh, that's nice.
So,
That's nice.
yeah.
So, any challenges that you encountered while preparing to be a missionary sister?
Sure, yes.
Probably.
So as I said, I was just 15, and in my place, the first challenge was the language.
Yes.
Because I studied in Malayalam medium school. That's the state language of where I come from.
Okay.
We spoke only that at home, and so I started learning English at the age of 10, maybe.
Oh, really?
In class 4, we just learned the alphabets, and then it was one of the languages that I learned, but not for speaking.
Yeah.
So when we came together for the formation, we were from 9 different states, like 20 of us from 9 different states, and we didn't have a common language.
Yes.
So we had to speak English. So that was a challenge at that time.
Yeah.
And another challenge was that this multicultural living in India itself. Like when you say different state means everything is different. So coming together as teenagers was quite difficult. We used to have sparks. And also it took time to understand the other person with the context of their culture and language. And so that was a challenge, but now I see it as a blessing. So like in Dublin, we are 7 in the community and 5 nationalities.
Wow.
And there was a time we were 7 and 7 nationalities. I don't see that as a difference anymore. I feel it as a blessing.
So that's good. Yeah. So your challenges became good learning experience for you.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
So are there what are the most common misconceptions about religious life?
First of all, I think it's about freedom, that sisters or brothers, they don't have freedom. And also it is irrelevant, or people have asked me on my face if it was some love failure or something that brought me to the convent.
That made you decide to become a missionary sister.
Yeah, so it's like if nothing else is possible, then you join the convent. So, yeah, I think these are some of the
Yeah.
misconceptions that I
So,
can.
how do you feel about those misconceptions? What do you think about them?
From my own experience, I say they are misconceptions.
Yeah.
Because I feel the joy of being called,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't think that my freedom is curtailed.
Mm-hmm.
And my sisters and my congregation have supported me all the way to
To your
bring the
formation.
good news through like media that I love, and
Yeah.
I can use my talents and
Yes.
my resources, and it doesn't bind me.
Yeah.
So
that's
I feel
good.
the freedom from within, freedom of giving up something,
Yes.
but the inner freedom. So I think they are just misconceptions.
Yeah, so that's good. But I wonder, is there any moment that you felt like you could have done another vocation or another, or like a different path instead of being a missionary sister?
To be very frank, never.
Never.
It doesn't mean that it was all beautiful and it was a bed of
Yes.
roses, no, but
Yeah.
there were challenges, as I said,
Yes.
uncertainties and challenges, but I never thought of anything other than being a sister.
Of doing anything other than being a sister. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
nice. That's good. So as I was reading your bio, I find your journey interesting because after your final, you say commitment, right, in India,
Yeah,
then you got assigned into the province of Ireland, right? And then when you were in Ireland, you completed your master's in radio television
Production,
productions
yeah.
in the university in Ireland. Then you got assigned as co-coordinator of communication in Rome, and then you work at the Vatican media. So how did you find that life of like from India and then to Ireland and then to Rome and then back to Ireland? So how is it like?
When I look back now, I feel it was a blessing. So living in India, being with my own people, gave me the rootedness of my own culture and also my call, my congregation. And coming to Ireland gave me a different idea of the world and also a bit more confidence and independence. And then coming to Rome, being at the generalate, brought me a sense of belonging to a wider family, as with regard to the church and with regard to the congregation. So it all have enriched me.
So the perspective becomes bigger and
bigger
wider.
and wider.
So it sounds exciting to me, Sister Gini, because like different countries, different cultural experiences, and that is really like a truly awesome growth for you personally and professionally. So that's nice, that's nice.
And internationality is one of the main characteristics of our congregation, both the SVDs and the SSPS.
That's good. So is there any like a transformative moment in your spiritual journey that you could share with us?
I can't pinpoint to one dramatic experience or anything like that, but I believe it's an ongoing journey. My life every day, like my life with my community, prayer in the community, my personal prayer, my work, my meeting with people outside, and all this helps me change something in me, nourish something in me. So it's an ongoing journey.
I think I agree with that. So if there is someone watching us right now and thinking of entering into a religious life, so what should they do, or what is the process?
First of all, take courage to recognize that call and pray, reflect, ask questions to oneself, and then if you have a spiritual director or sister, priest or parish priest or anybody whom you can trust, talk to them. Talk also to your parents. And then the process is like the first thing to do is to visit. If you feel called to a particular congregation, particular community that's in your mind, visit them, maybe for a day, then later maybe for a weekend.
Yes.
Ask questions and see if my desire fits with their charism, and also if the desire is still there.
Yeah,
so discernment, reflection, talking to someone whom you can trust, that is the best way to do it.
And try to be in that community to
Yeah.
see if it is a fit for what you are expecting or what you wanted, and then the community
Yeah.
itself. Okay, that's...
So many communities allow you for something called commencee. So you can stay there for a week or more than a week. So they see and the person sees, and
Yeah,
so,
so that's good. That's a good, what you call it, discernment phase, right? Discernment.
Yeah.
So now, if there are parents that are watching us today, and their daughter wanted to, contemplating on going into a religious life, any words of wisdom for them?
Yeah, for parents,
Yes.
it is difficult when somebody says, "I'm going to a convent." Yeah. But just to be with your daughter, with your son, and listen to them respectfully,
Yes.
and allow them to discern, guide them, support them, and once a person joins a convent, she's not lost. Many times parents think that, oh, my daughter went and I lost her.
I lost a daughter.
No, it's not a loss, it's a gain actually. You get somebody to pray, you have somebody spreading God's love. So just be with them patiently and listen and support. That's what I would say.
Yeah, I think the most important part is to listen where the daughter or the son's thoughts are coming from. So for 2026, can you share with us your hopes and dreams with regards to being a missionary sister?
I don't make resolutions, so I don't have big dreams. But to be faithful to the call of being a religious missionary sister, and also to use my talents, my energy, my resources to spread God's love in the simplest way possible through my life and whatever I do, and to be faithful. That's what I'm hoping for.
I'm sure it's gonna happen. So, if there is one thing that you want to say to our audience, what would that be?
Life is a precious gift, and just to recognize your own dreams, keeping eyes on God, asking Him to take it forward, and not to lose any moment in despair or depression, or just to trust in yourself and trust in God.
Well,
hold the hands of God. That's
and it will lead the way.
Yeah,
it will show you the way. So thank you so much, Sister Gini, for sharing your inspiring life journey, your spiritual journey. We had a lovely conversation today. So many people think that when a person enters a religious life, they find it leads to like loneliness. But many people think and find fulfillment and happiness in their faith. And I would like to share this quote from Martin Luther King. And the quote is, "Faith is taking the first step, even when you don't see the whole staircase." So I'm going to repeat it. Faith is taking the first step, even when you don't see the whole staircase. And as we say, when we take leave of faith, that's the time you find your courage and your capabilities. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next episode, and blessings.